Hello everyone, it's BOP or BOP, either one, it doesn't matter to me, and here are my top 10 cruiserweights and 2 honorable mentions of 2022. Starting off with the honorable mentions, first up we have Andrew Tabiti, who brings in a record of 18 wins, 14 by knockout, and 1 defeat. He has that counterpunching Mayweather style that is so popular here in the States. Now, his best win is versus Keith Tapia on May 13th, 2016 for the vacant NABF title, defeating Tapia by unanimous decision. And I expect Tabiti to go on a nice European vacation and fight Mattis Bridus and Alexey Papen, lining himself up for a WBC world title. Here's where some people might already start to question my list. The top honorable mention spot goes to Ilanga Makabu, the current WBC world champion, who brings in a record of 29 wins, 25 by knockout, and 2 defeats. He is an aggressive and good inside fighter, and his best wins are versus Thabiso Mchunu on May 26, 2015, actually beating Mchunu by KO in the 11th round. Unlike the second fight where it was a gift. And the second one goes to Dmitry Kushudriov on June 16th, 2019 for the vacant WBC silver title, destroying Dmitry by TKO in the 5th round. The next is Alexey Papen on August 24th, 2019 for the WBC silver title, proving Papen was too inexperienced by defeating Alexey by majority decision, and this one should have been a unanimous decision win, not a majority, but there was a little home judges not wanting to give a little love to Ilanga Makabu. Now, my expectations for Makabu are to unify. Gulamarian first, because that is the most entertaining fight in the cruiserweight division, and when I say entertaining, I mean entertaining. 2 inside fighters just going at it, and one will fall. It will not last long. And get away from Don King, damn it. Number 10, and I have a feeling that he's going to be moving up very soon, is Richard Reactpoor, who brings in a record of 13 wins, 9 by knockout, and no defeats. He is a boxer and boxer puncher, choosing whichever to use at will, which is very, very good to have multiple styles to rely on in boxing and not just one, so somebody can figure it out, and then your career's done with. Richard Reactpoor is not like that. Now, his best wins are versus Tommy McCarthy on March 2nd, 2019 for the WBA Intercontinental title, smashing McCarthy out by TKO in the 4th round. His second best win is Chris Billam-Smith, and these wins aren't ranked, it's just I'm going in line, so I shouldn't really say second best win, but his other best win is versus Chris Billam-Smith on July 20th, 2019 for the WBA Intercontinental title, defeating Billam-Smith by split decision. And his other and final best win is Olurenwaju Dorodola on November 20th, 2021 for the vacant WBC silver title, crushing Dorodola in 5 rounds by TKO. Now, my expectations for Reactpoor are fight Mattis Bridus, Alexey Papen, and Thabiso Mchunu, lining up a WBC world title shot. The reason I'm bringing up 3 fights is because he's wanting to step on the gas, and those are 3 guys that are good enough to test one and to see if they're at that world level or if they're at that domestic level. One or the other, those 3 fighters will test you, and lining yourself up for a WBC world title shot against Ilanga Makabu is always a good thing for somebody like Richard Reactpoor. Number 9 is Thabiso I didn't lose against Ilanga Makabu in the second fight, Mchunu. I said it. Anybody who thinks he won that fight is blind. Now, Mchunu, he brings in a record of 23 wins, 13 by knockout, and 6 defeats. He has that boxer-puncher style, but yet he can play inside fighter if he needs to, and his best wins are versus Thomas Uthwesen on December 8th, 2018 for the South African and African titles, beating Thomas by unanimous decision and avenging a very, very sketchy loss. And his other one is Denis Lebedev on December 21st, 2019 for the WBC silver title, proving all wrong and defeating the former WBA world champion by unanimous decision. And finally versus Evgeny Tizhenko on March 27th, 2021 for Mchunu's WBC silver title. easily defeating the former Olympic gold medalist by unanimous decision in his own backyard. And what are my expectations for Thabitsu Mchunu? Fight Chris Bellum-Smith and Fabio Turchi, lining himself up for an IBF world title shot. Coming in at number 8 is Arsen Goulamirian, who is the WBA Super World Champion, who brings in a record of 26 wins, 18 by knockout, and no defeats. He is an inside/boxer-puncher with good parrying technique, and his best win is versus Riyad Miri on March 24th, 2018 for the WBA interim title, scoring the late TKO win in the 11th round. Now, my expectation is simple for Arsen Goulamirian, and that's to unify, hopefully with Ilanga Makabu first, because that is a fight filled with fireworks. Here's a head scratcher for some, but at number 7 is Alexey Igorov, who brings in a record of 11 wins, 7 by knockout, and no defeats. He is a boxer puncher who has clubbing, thudding blows, and his best wins are versus Thomas Uswisen on March 23rd, 2019 for the vacant IBF Intercontinental title, defeating Thomas by unanimous decision, and versus Vasyl Ducard on March 12th, 2020, beating Ducard by unanimous decision. Now, my expectations: fight Goulamirian, get that fight over the line for the WBA Super title. If Igorov wins, unify. Go with Makabu first, of course. Seems to be a running joke, but it's a theme. It's like pottery, it breaks. Anyways, if Igorov loses, fight Evgeny Cheshchenko and Ryan Rozicki, lining himself up for the WBC World title shot, aka Makabu. And in at number 6 is Jay Obadaya, who is the WBO Global Champion and brings in a record of 21 wins, 17 by knockout, and no defeats. Yes, my title card is outdated. He is a slick boxer puncher with good movement, and his best win is versus Mark Flanagan on November 16, 2019, defending his WBA Oceania and WBA Global titles and winning the inaugural IBF Asia Oceania title, blasting Flanagan out by TKO in round 8. Now, my expectations are for him to fight Bridus. If Jay wins, unify. If Jay loses, fight Nol Gevor Mckellian and Badu Jack, lining yourself up for that WBC title. At number 5 is Mikhiel Ceslak, who brings in a record of 21 wins, 15 by knockout, 1 defeat, and 1 no contest. He is a very slick, unorthodox boxer who is very entertaining to watch, and his best wins are versus Yuri Kalinga on March 1st, 2019, getting the corner stoppage in 7 rounds, and versus Olorunwaju Dorodola on May 31st, 2019, for the vacant Republic of Poland international title, taking Dorodola out by TKO in 2 rounds. Now, my expectations are for him to fight Akoli, which is happening very, very soon. If Ceslak wins, which, if you saw my prediction, you can just check it out and you'll get my thoughts there. But if Ceslak wins, he unifies Bridus first, because those two styles would just match up so perfectly and look so great in the ring, aesthetically, very crowd pleasing. And if Ceslak loses, fight Uniel Dorticos. And that would be an amazing fight, and that would line himself up for a WBA world title shot, whether it be regular, hopefully it would be super, against Arsen Goulamirian or Riyad Miri. And in at number 4 of top 10 cruiserweights of 2022 is Nol Gevor Mckellian, who is the current WBC silver champion, bringing in a record of 26 wins, 11 by knockout, and 2 defeats. He is a pure boxer that moves behind the jab, a very good style to watch if you love technical boxing, and his best win is versus Yuri Kalinga on February 12th, 2022 for the vacant WBC silver title, defeating Kalinga by unanimous decision, all while suffering a bad cut early. Now, my expectations for Nol Gevor Mckellian are to face Ilanga Makabu and have a rematch with Mattis Bridus. At number 3 is Uniel Dorticos, former WBA and IBF champion, who brings in a record of 25 wins, 23 by knockout, and 2 defeats, and he has a boxer-puncher style. And if you don't think he has a jab, Just ask Andrew Tabiti. Now, his best wins are versus Dmitry Kushyadriyov on September 23rd, 2017, defending his WBA regular title in Season 1 of the World Boxing Super Series, obliterating Dmitry in 2 rounds by KO. He is the KO doctor, but not on this next fight. And he took on Mattis Bridus on October 20th, 2018 in Season 2 of the World Boxing Super Series, defeating Bridus by unanimous decision. Now, my expectation, become the WBA Super World Champion for the second time, defeating Arsen Goulamirian. That will be a magnificent fight. Can he beat Goulamirian? Can Goulamirian beat him? No answers. Let's find out. Coming in at number 2, and he could possibly be number 1 if 2 and 1 would fight. We could see who's actually number 1. Hopefully that will take place soon. But coming in at number 2 is Lawrence Akoli, and he is the WBO World Champion, bringing in a record of 17 wins, 14 by knockout, and no defeats. And he has developed a nice boxer-puncher style with a lot of power and a good jab. Always moving behind the jab now and striking them down with that power. Now, his best wins are versus Isaac Chamberlain, which is just aging beautifully, on February 3rd, 2018 for the vacant WBA Continental title, defeating Chamberlain by unanimous decision. And Chamberlain, he's no joke. He's coming up too. Now, his second best win, or his best win really, is versus Krzysztof Grodzki on March 20th, 2021 for the vacant WBO world title, destroying the former world champion in 6 rounds by TKO. And my expectations for Lawrence Akoli is to become unified or undisputed world champion before moving up to heavyweight, because I do know that is a goal and desire for Lawrence. And to no one's surprise, coming in at number 1 is Mattis Bridus, the IBF and Ring Magazine world champion, bringing in a record of 28 wins, 20 by knockout, and 1 defeat. He has a boxer-puncher style, and his best wins are versus Marco Huck on April 1st, 2017 for the vacant WBC world title, beating Huck by unanimous decision, and versus Junior Dorticos September 26, 2020 for Junior's IBF world title, the vacant Ring Magazine title, and to win the World Boxing Super Series Season 2, defeating Junior Dorticos by majority decision, and it should have been a unanimous decision. My expectations, again, are simple for Bridus: unify and become undisputed world champion if you can. Get off this Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Ringo Paul bullshit. And those are my top 10 cruiserweights for 2022. I do expect all these guys to fight each other and unite the division with one face and one name. If you have a different top 10, drop it below. Tell me what you expect from them, hope they can achieve, and all of that mess that YouTube likes and algorithm and all the bullshit. Anyways, take it easy, everybody. Later.